Welcome back to the Movie Man. Today I will show you a 2018 Russian action-adventure science fiction heist film, Beyond the Edge. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie starts with Michael. He has just woken up from a nightmare, but at the same time, he has to get ready for work. Michael is a waiter at a casino, where rich people spend their money. Thanks to his good performance and sociable character, Michael has earned the trust of all his co-workers, even though he has only been working there for the past 3 months. But behind all that, it turns out that everything he does is solely to reap the benefits for himself. This is shown when he takes off his makeup and reveals his disguise. On that particular night, Michael began his act. He seemed to be very skilled in carrying out his actions, starting from conquering machines and casino games, stealing VIP cards, and hacking into the elevator's system to go to special halls intended for big stakes players. Michael, who wears sophisticated glasses that can penetrate objects, also managed to win the game so that he got a profit of up to 5 million euros that night. Sadly, all of these achievements were instantly washed away when he met one of his opponents named Alex. Alex has the ability to manipulate one's vision. Michael, who was initially very confident, was defeated because the card he saw was just an illusion that Alex had done to him. Unable to accept his defeat and lose all his money, Michael then chased after one of the other players, but again, it was just an illusion. Michael thought that the man he was chasing was Alex, but it was not him but another player in the VIP room. Meanwhile, Alex calmly left the casino. For the commotion he had caused, Michael was arrested by Victor, the casino's owner. Victor then begins to interrogate Michael for making his casino lose over 5 million euros. He then demanded the money back and gave Michael 1 week to return it. At first, Michael refused to return the money, because he also lost his money after all, and he was still infuriated by Alex's supernatural tricks, but he finally accepted the order. When Victor threatened him, Michael didn't want to waste his time, so he went to one of his old friends, Leon, who owned a small casino. At his friend's casino, Michael saw a necklace with the same symbol as Alex's tattoo. Leon later explained that the symbol was a sign of a supernatural power that was able to make the owner enter an infinite subconscious, just as Alex did when he manipulated Michael's visual perspective, which was able to make him have an entirely different image on the cards he had. In another place, Alex was having a meeting with a man named Gordon. As it turned out, Gordon was the one who had designed all of Alex's actions, which were intended to test Michael's abilities. Back to Michael, who discovered Leon's notebook about supernatural powers. Michael then used the notebook to search for people who had unique supernatural abilities that he believed could help his mission. In the end, Michael managed to recruit several people, including Eric, who can move objects, Tony, who can control all electronic devices, and Kevin, who can hypnotize people. Once all of his team members were gathered, Michael began to explain the tasks that each of them had to do, including making a simulation of a real gambling game, just like what is usually done in a casino. Unfortunately, the simulation, which initially went smoothly, had to be obstructed, because each player's ego was still not well controlled. Michael finally decided to find one more member who would play the role of controlling them all. The next day, Michael went to find Veronica. Veronica is a telepath who can hear and transmit thoughts at a distance. Her power helps Michael communicate with his team. With Veronica joining the team, Michael can finally easily control all his team members to act according to his orders. Veronica is described as a woman who can enter the subconscious of everyone she wants. Then she will connect with Michael, and then Michael will give orders to all members of his team, starting from Eric, who was asked to ring a warning bell, Kevin, who was assigned to urge people to scream in fear without any reason, and Tony, who was assigned to create an electrical short circuit. Moreover, Veronica seems to have the most power among the others, as she can even create an earthquake in everyone's mind, causing people to scatter and run for their lives. Michael then devised his plan, and the preparations were made to launch their mission. Before we knew it, 2 days remained from the day Victor had fixed the other day. Michael and his team then began to carry out their actions. At the beginning of their plan, With Veronica's power, Michael could easily give instructions to his team without the need to use any means of communication. As if what was in the man's heart could be immediately channeled to each person he aimed at quickly. Victory and profit began to come easily to them. But unfortunately, it didn't last long, because Eric and Tony began to get carried away with the game, and they lost control, so they played without stopping. As a result of their behavior, they finally drew the attention of the guards at the venue. Both of them were then taken to another room by the guards. Fortunately, Michael managed to hypnotize the guards by using Kevin's power, which made them release their two friends. Michael was both furious and worried about Eric and Tony. He then began to give them some understanding in the hope that this would not happen again, as it could threaten their safety. Michael then continued his mission, but this time they only bet on one type of roulette game. In no time at all, Michael's target, which was only aiming for 5 million euros, managed to win up to 10 million euros. After making a huge profit, they then left the casino and celebrated their victory on the beach. The next day, something unexpected happened. Victor, who had noticed Michael's suspicious behavior, finally found out about the talent of Michael's friends. Victor and his men then intercepted them and revealed his intention to recruit them all as workers in his casino. Victor's goal, of course, is to grow his business with the huge profits that he can reap through the help of Michael's friends. Unfortunately, not only did he want these great people, Victor even ordered his men to kill Michael because he had refused to hand over his friends. In the end, Michael had to let his friends work as staff in Victor's casino because Victor threatened him. It seems that luck is still on Michael's side. After being shot by one of Victor's men, he was able to survive, as the shot missed, and more surprisingly, the rescue was carried out by Gordon. It was finally revealed that Gordon was Michael's biological father, with whom he had lost contact over the past 10 years. Michael considers all the tragic events he has experienced so far were Gordon's doing, but his father was reluctant to be considered to have trapped him, and he argued that everything he did was a lesson he had given so that his son could be better trained to continue his talent. Like and subscribe may look simple for you, but for us, it's very valuable. Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for the latest notifications. Thank you for your support. It turns out that Gordon also has supernatural powers. Feeling guilty for involving his friends in this matter, Michael then tries to save them. As always, he went undercover to sneak into the casino. In the end, Michael managed to meet up with his friends again, but unlike Eric, Tony, and Kevin, Veronica chose to live in her subconscious instead of working for Victor. Her move has left her in a coma for the past few days. Upon hearing this, Michael, who seems to have fallen in love with Veronica, begins to devise a new plan, and they are back in action. With a good cooperation between Michael and his friends, they were finally able to get back Veronica, who was still in a coma. Unfortunately, their actions were discovered, so they decided to hide in the casino vault, as it was the only safe place for them to take refuge from Victor and his men. Under the pressure, they then blamed each other, especially Eric, who firmly blamed Michael for getting them all into trouble, while Michael, who could not bear to see Veronica's condition, finally decided to enter the subconscious of the girl he loved. With Kevin's help, Michael entered her subconscious and found Veronica, who was still lost in her reverie. Although Michael had some difficulty at first, he then began to express his feelings towards Veronica and was finally able to persuade the girl to wake up from her coma. Unfortunately, there is only one door in the subconscious that they can use to return to the real world, and Michael allows Veronica to use that door while ignoring his own life. In his subconscious, Michael, who was now alone, began to recall his meeting with his father, who had explained to him about accessing the door to other people's subconscious. It was revealed that Gordon had passed on his supernatural powers to Michael, and that he had also given his son a compass at that time. A few moments later, Michael, who had just realized the existence of supernatural powers in him, suddenly saw another man who had just entered his subconscious, as if giving him directions to another door, and that man turned out to be Alex, who was deliberately ordered by Gordon to give Michael some guidance about his new abilities. Alex was also the one who brought Michael back to his past when he was at gunpoint by Victor's men. With Alex's help, Michael finally managed to save himself from the gunshot. A few moments later, Michael was awakened by Veronica, who had already woken up from her coma. As if to show his new abilities, Michael then invited all his friends to immediately get out of the safe with all the money there. Although they were hesitant at first, in the end, they all realized that Michael now had a new ability that could allow him to enter the subconscious of others and control their minds. Even though the incident had happened before, Michael was able to shift Victor's visual perspective into thinking that his safe had been broken into by Michael and his gang. The casino owner then ordered all his men to pursue their target on the opposite side of the building. Michael and his friends were finally able to casually walk away from the casino. They all headed to a beach to meet Alex. As they arrived at the beach, Alex was waiting for them. He then told Michael and his friends about a new task that Michael and his friends had to do, which seemed to indicate that they now had far greater abilities than before, and suddenly there was also someone who could create a whirlpool of fire in the palm of his hand. Long story short, 3 months have passed and Michael is now walking with Gordon as he talks about plans for their next mission. That was all of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.